Hey, creatives, here's the thing. You can have all the creative systems in the world, but if your money is a mess, you're still stuck in chaos mode. Trust me. And the core group gets this. They understand it. They work exclusively with creatives, and they know that financial overwhelm kills your creative energy faster than anything. Whether you need basic tax help or full CFO level strategy, they will meet you where you are and help you build sustainable financial systems. The profit first approach means that you actually pay yourself first instead of hoping that there's enough money left over at the end, right? So head to coregroups.com and let them help you create financial clarity today. Your best creative ideas aren't lost because you're not smart enough to remember them. No, they're lost because you haven't given future you a fighting chance to find them. Let's get into it.
Taking creatives from chaos to clarity.
Welcome back to Creativity Made Easy, the podcast where we transform creative chaos into clarity through systems and processes. This is a podcast for all creatives, designers, photographers, writers, all creative entrepreneurs who are seeking practical, actionable strategies to grow their creative business through efficiency. I'm your host, Dustin Peed, creative process consultant, and I help creatives and agencies know themselves, their process, and their teams so that they can create with efficiency as they scale together. I would love for you to subscribe, rate, and review this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button as well. Check out dustinpeed.com/free for all sorts of free resources I have for you. And you can follow and chat with me on social media at Dustin Peed. That's DUSTINPEAD. All right, so let's talk about this scenario, right? You're in the shower and a brilliant solution appears, right? But by the time you dry off, it's gone, right? It vanishes. Maybe you were in the middle of a client call and an idea strikes, right? The call continues, the idea evaporates. Maybe it's while you're driving, you can't write it down, so you just say, I'll remember this, but you don't, right? Right before falling asleep, those breakthrough moments that are lost during the morning fog. Maybe it's during exercise and the endorphins are flowing and ideas are flowing, and then later, nothing, right? This is a scattered system disaster, right? So I want to talk about some ways that you can kind of collect ideas so that you have them when you need them. This is what Todd Henry calls an accidental creative. He talks about being brilliant at a moment's notice because you have collected ideas. So some creatives decide that they're going to write them down so that they don't forget, right? And so what they do is they might create an ideas Slack thread that they're never going to find again, right? Maybe they email themselves, right? But those end up going down and down further in your inbox. Maybe you have different random notebooks or sticky notes or napkins, all things that you can't find. Or maybe you have voice memos that you never actually transcribe. Look, this fails because future you has multiple 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 places sometimes to have to go find those ideas and ultimately ends up giving up, and thus the idea is gone. But listen, brilliant ideas don't have to become wasted creative energy. So I want to suggest something to us today, and I talk all my clients about this. Have one capture system for your ideas. One capture system that goes with you everywhere, right? If it doesn't go with you everywhere, it's not your system. So you can choose your one place. Maybe it's your iPhone notes app, right? It's always in your pocket. Maybe it's a digital notepad on your phone like Notion or Evernote. Maybe it's a physical field notes journal. I did this for many, many years, right? So I wouldn't be attached to a screen and I would carry around the little field notes. Field notes are those little notebooks that are about the size of your hand, right? You can carry them around in your pocket. I loved it because when I put my hands in my pocket, I would feel it there and I'd be like, oh yeah, I brought this around to write down some ideas. Maybe I should think about what ideas I have right now. And then I would pull it out and have it. You can use the voice recorder app for when you're driving or exercising, but if that's the place, That needs to be the place. The key to success here is to pick one place and commit. No exceptions. If you're going to do the voice recorder thing, do the voice recorder thing. If you're going to do the field notes thing, do the field notes thing. And the reason that this is important is because if you don't have one place, like we talked about earlier, you have all these different places to go back and find where did I put that idea, right? I love Seinfeld, the show. I love Seinfeld, the comedian, and I used to watch that show religiously all the time. And there was an episode where he had woke up in the middle of the night, wrote down this concept or a punchline to a joke or whatever, and the next day he woke up and he's like, I don't know what this means. Is this anything? Like, I have no context as to what this means. And so that's where the future you framework is applied. So when you capture an idea, if you leave out the context of that idea, then you're setting yourself up for failure, right? So if you have an idea about a client portal, right? Don't just write client portal idea, right? Hey, client portal idea looks like this. It's an automated onboarding sequence that sends a welcome video and checklist from day one. You go, oh, well, that's an idea I can get around. But if you just had an idea written somewhere or on a voice memo somewhere that said client portal idea, you'd be like, I have no idea what the context is. And future you framework or methodology that we talk about is specifically designed for context, because you're not expected to remember the context of all these things. You remember little bits and pieces. You remember client portal idea, but later you want to know that what that idea actually was fully fleshed out. And so you give future you enough details to act on it without having to reconstruct your thinking, right? It's the same principle that applies to our project task methodology, where we have a clear verb, specific outcome, and all of the necessary context. All right, so now we've got our ideas in one place. What do we do with that one place? What I suggest is a weekly review. Now, you can do a daily review if you'd like, if you're in a high idea environment where you constantly need to be pumping out ideas, you can do that. I found for me and most creatives that I know that doing that daily gets exhausting, because there's a lot of things to start and not a lot of things to finish. And there's really no time to marinate on the idea. Like, when we have ideas as creatives, like, sometimes we just need to sit on them for a little while and kind of marinate through those ideas and kind of stew on it. Maybe we add a little bit more context as we begin to stew on it. But I like the weekly review because it gives us time to marinate on it, but not so much time like a monthly one where we begin to really kind of lose passion for that idea. It's not we're losing context for the idea, we're losing passion for the ideas usually if we wait longer than a week to review those ideas. So I like to have the same time, the same day, every single week. Usually for me, it's Friday afternoons, where I'm going through and I'm looking back at the week of all the ideas that I wrote down in my one spot. For me, it's my remarkable notepad that I use, a digital notepad that I use. I write all my ideas down in that. And so every Friday afternoon, I want to go through and I look at that. And when I do that, when you review these ideas, I want to give you 4 questions to filter through each idea, because you need to, when you're looking at these ideas weekly, you need to ask yourself the question, well, what do I do with this idea now? And there are 4 questions that I want you to filter through each idea that you wrote down. And the 4 areas are this: it's either a new idea for now, it's a new idea for later, it's a add something to an existing idea now, or it's an add something to an existing idea later, right? And then as time goes on, you may look at that and you go, you know what? That's actually just creating more work. We really don't need that, or that's actually belongs a little bit more with this other idea, right? You're adding something, adding to an existing idea. So new for now doesn't need immediate action. Then you move it to your task list immediately. New for later. Maybe this is a future project, right? So you're going to create a project placeholder in Asana or wherever you create project placeholders, and you're going to go, that's where this is going to go, and I'm going to come back to it. Maybe, and put a date on it, obviously, right? So that you remember to come back to it. Thirdly, maybe it's adding to something new now. Maybe you're adding to a new idea and you're going to add it right now. Does this enhance a current project, right? We've all had that. We get halfway through a project and we go, man, you know what would make this project great? You know what would really take this to the next level? That's this category. You're adding to something, you're adding to an existing idea or existing project that already exists. And the fourth category is you're adding something later, right? It's still you're adding to it. Does this fit maybe a planned future initiative, right? And so you add a note to that future project going like, hey, I had an idea for later that we might do something. And when we do, it's going to be like this. And so your one place is to be the place that you capture the ideas and you review the ideas. But then after that, you send the ideas where they belong, right? You send the ideas where they belong. So, what do we do with this now? It's a pretty short episode, but I wanted to get it out there for you. What do we do? First thing you do is choose one place for these notes today. Don't research out the yin yang for this, right? Like just pick something that you already have access to, because if it's too far of a reach of a new thing that you have to incorporate, a new tool that you have to incorporate, you won't do it. Resistance will set in and you'll go, it's just out of arm's reach, and so I can't really get to it, so I'm not going to use it. So make sure you have one place to decide that's within reach of you already, within your grasp, within your world, within your realm already. So you don't have to create a new habit around this. It's something that's going to be super easy and natural for you to do. Number 2, set up your weekly review. Literally 15 minutes every the same time on the same day every single week. Go ahead and create it on your calendar. Open your calendar right now and create that reoccurring 15-minute block every single week when you know that you're going to have the time and the mental energy to review those ideas. Thirdly, now it's time to build the habit. Now we have the tools in our midst. We've scheduled the thing to happen, right? We have the tool, we have the time and date and the place, and we're just going to show up. So now we have to start building the habit. So in the first couple of weeks, maybe the habit is that you just need to capture the ideas, right? Just work on building a habit of writing those ideas down wherever you decided to write them down or verbally speak them into. After a couple of weeks of doing that, then you can start to go, okay, now I'm going to work in this weekly review that's on my calendar, and I'm going to really get this flow going. And as you do that, track your wins. When you're looking through, you're like, man, I had that idea. I came back and revisited it. I added it to the thing, and the project was so much better because we actually followed through on an idea. Imagine that, creative. Imagine you actually follow through on some of your ideas. Doesn't that sound amazing? I want that for you so badly. Fourth, make sure when you're writing these ideas down, make sure that you're giving future you the context that it needs, right? Write ideas like you're leaving notes for a team member who needs to execute it without asking any questions. And we've talked about this multiple times on the Future You methodology shows that we've done, so you can go back and listen to those things. But essentially it boils down to, like I said, writing ideas like you're leaving notes for a team member who needs to execute without being able to ask any questions whatsoever. That is future you context. And then lastly, get your ideas into action. Use the 4-question filter every single week. Don't let your idea capture system become a museum of ideas, right? Don't let it become a museum of ideas. Take it, use it as a filtration system, and put those ideas where they belong and get them into action today. So a couple things you can find on my website to help you with this is the Future You methodology framework. It's dustinpeed.com/free. You can find that there. You can also find the do versus do framework for scheduling those weekly reviews and what to do with your ideas afterwards. Check out Field Notes as a great option for analog. Apple Notes, Notion, Evernote, if that's still a thing. I'm not sure. I used to use Evernote like crazy back in the day. Are some great digital options. And of course, Asana or any other type of project management system to be able to move your ideas into completion. Listen, creative, your ideas aren't the problem. It's not that you don't have good ideas or have enough ideas. It's your system for capturing those ideas. And future you and your future business and your future team deserves better than the scattered sticky notes and the voice memos that you've lost, right? So choose one place today, schedule the weekly review, and start treating your ideas like the valuable assets that they are, right? So stop by dustinp.com for the Future You framework and methodology. Click on the free resources section and find other tools to help you as well. Next week, we're going to be talking about one of the most underutilized leadership tools in creative business, the effective one-on-one meeting, right? So I'm going to share the exact talk that I taught at the SALT conference this year, this October. So actually, as this episode releases this Thursday, October the 9th, I will be at the SALT conference in Nashville giving the talk on how creative leaders can have effective one-on-ones with their team. So if you've ever wondered what to talk about in a one-on-one meeting, or you feel like they're a waste of the time, next week's episode is going to change everything for you. I cannot wait to talk to you then next time on the Creativity Made Easy podcast. Have a great week.